Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another weekly episode of Bento Xtreme, your number one source for anime, JRock, video games, and Blizzard news. We're going to dive right into this week's big topic. This is about the WCS heading toward China. Brian, Blizzard has announced the World Tournament, the final World Tournament of all these WCS finals and finales to take place in Shanghai, China on November 17th and the 18th.
I'm very surprised about that.
Me too. This is a huge presentation from Blizzard. Over 28 countries will be represented, each player coming out representing their country, waving their flag. Please stay tuned to Bento Xtreme as more of this unfolds as we get closer to the month of November. You know, this is really surprising coming from Blizzard that they would even consider China being a place to host the World Tournament. I mean, for crying out loud, China opened up a theme park featuring World of Warcraft regalia and products, you know, without permission from Blizzard. So what do you think about this, Brian?
Well, I'm kind of surprised that Blizzard's even willing to do it in Shanghai, China, because China's known for just not getting copyrighted issues. They just do whatever they want to do, and they say, "Oh, I'll color it in a different color." Like the Gundam statue they had, the 1:1 scale. They put it in orange and pink. They say, "Oh, it's a different model," but it's not. It's exactly the same thing, but different colors.
Exactly. I consider it the piracy capital of the world. You know, even a lot of the StarCraft 2 community, or just Blizzard community in general, is very appalled at this. Just looking onto the Blizzard forums and the comments below even this article, they were appalled and just angry of the decision Blizzard actually made. So please stay tuned to Bento Xtreme as we bring you more details as more of this unfolds. Well, that's it for the big news and the big topic for this week. We're going to dive right into this week's anime news.
I'm excited to bring you guys anime news this week. There's so much things going on. First topic is that it's so close by for us. San Francisco, actually. Only 8 hours away from us, actually. Not too bad.
We can take the bullet train.
Yeah, take the bullet train. It'll be a little faster. What's going on is that I remember I talked about this a few weeks ago about the whole deal about, the Resident Evil theme park where they had an abandoned hospital building. They had to survive to come out. Well, we're getting one of those too, actually. But it's an Evangelion theme, actually. The great thing about this is going on in August 25th to the 26th. Tickets, if you bought it I think you could still buy it for $20 right now because I think it's about to be a month actually. And then anything about 6 hours before it's $25. And then at the door, if they have tickets left, it's gonna be for $30. The one thing they want to promote is that they want about 10,000 people to show up to this event actually.
This sounds a lot like Anime Expo to me.
San Francisco's been doing a lot of promotions because they have little towns like for Japanese, Chinese, and Korean theme actually, and they really want to promote anime actually in the Japanese town. So let's move on. What's going on is that One Piece is actually coming out with a movie again. Well, it's the 11th movie actually. This movie is highlighting with Luffy and Z, where that's his most highest enemy that he had to fight. And the great thing about this is that this is getting released in Japan on December 15th. So it didn't even get released in Japan. So we're probably gonna get it about a month later with subtitles on.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Next of all, Air Gear is finally coming to a fold. The volume 46. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, this manga and anime has been out for quite a while.
I think it's been out since the mid 2000s, but it's finally folding up in Japan, and in America it's going to take a little bit longer to get the manga done. So they're saying August 7th in Japan it's going to be folding up in their manga series. Next of all, Eureka 7 AO hybrid game and anime is getting released.
Awesome.
Yeah, this thing is, the way it's going to work, it's a Blu-ray disc where it has an OVA that's in between 8 and 9 episodes, and PlayStation 3 game is going to be on it. Wow, this is a great combination actually. Great thing is that it's getting released in September 20th. That's not too far away, yeah?
Yeah.
Price is a little high for Americans. It's about 10,000 yen. That's about $132.
Well, it's like double the price of the normal PS3 or Xbox game.
Yeah, usually our collectors is usually about $100. Over there, it's way more than $100. Looks like. It's crazy. That's it for anime news this week. What's going in JRock this week?
There's some really exciting JRock news this week. The band Anonymous Confederate Ensemble (AACE), they had their first European tour ever. With their recent album or recent single, Night of the Nights, from the album Tales from the Abyss. The Pirates of AACE are willing to chat with JMobile.com, and in which they had a chance to sit down with them to actually ask them about their goings on and what their future plans are. So as far as what Brian actually asked me off camera, do they wave a Confederate flag? No. They do not wave a Confederate flag. My favorite band, Versailles, they take a lot of the European, just Western type of style influence and put it into the regalia and the way they dress. You could just see the connection that Japan, or the influence that Japan has from the West, from not only America but the European history as well. So as far as waving a Confederate flag, no, they do not, Brian. They do not wave it.
Okay, no, it's not a problem. Just wanted to ask.
Yeah, to answer your question on camera.
Right.
But in other news, Anli Policino, Labyrinth Taste Me. They had their first European tour ever back in 2010. JMeWorld.com released some old footage from this European tour. You guys can go to their website to actually see it. Their album was originally released on February 12th, 2010, and by going to Europe, they were promoting it. So that's pretty awesome. They also are, like Versailles, they also have that European-esque style to them. So no, they don't wave a Confederate flag, Brian. Sorry to keep rubbing that in your face.
Oh God, you should stop that.
But it's interesting to see just how Japan is connected to the West.
Definitely.
Just throughout the history of just colonialism and all that, you could see the remnants and the results of it today. It's really interesting. Well, guys, it's all the I'm sorry, one last thing. LRK and Seal. I was jumping ahead of myself.
I know.
LRK and Seal, they're on their 20th anniversary tour. They recently had their first concert in Indonesia. About 10,000 fans gathered in Jakarta. So with fans screaming, crying, fans screaming their names. This is a real treat for them. So you guys can find more about this only on JRock.com.
I mean, before you move on, one thing glad thing about what we're talking about is this, that the K-pop world is always like booming in Asia and in America, but even J-rock and J-pop is growing in Europe and even different countries in Asia. Actually, that's one thing I'm glad to hear. Actually,
it's great. It's like this is another thing that Japan is really connected to Europe, because here in America, rock is still very popular, but not quite as popular as pop music or R&B. In Europe, it's the complete opposite. Rock music is the most popular music, and you can see that in Japan, even though J-pop and J-rock are head-to-head, neck and neck, and competing with each other. Well, that's it for JRock News this week. We're going to jump right into this week's video game topic.
Well, on the video game topic, we're going to go with a little bit of older news from Comic-Con. Naruto Shippuden, their third game is finally getting released again. So I've just played the second one that just came out. It was awesome. It was great. The one thing great about this is that they just showed 3 promo videos in Comic-Con. So I'm hoping that they're going to release it in Japan in 2013 somewhere. So I think later in the summer again. So it's going to work out. I'm hoping this works out very well for them. Let's move on to Resident Evil 6. They just showed 3 more promo video on their YouTube channel. Actually, it's going to be an awesome game. I'm hoping they don't hype it up too much and that the game fails again.
Yeah, like the 5th game from Resident Evil, it was a huge flop.
Yeah, it was good, but at the same time, it had a little flop to it, honestly. So pretty much, the great thing about this is that Capcom is moving the date for North America and Europe. It's coming out on October 2nd.
Nice.
Not too far away. It's about roughly 2 months away. And we're actually getting it before Japan. Japan's getting it on October 4th.
Oh, this is the first.
Yeah, that's ever the first, but I think because we have bigger fans in the United States and Europe than Japan, actually. And they're talking about getting a PC version of this game, actually.
Compatible for both Windows and Mac?
Hopefully for Mac.
We'll see.
We'll see about that. Last of all, for video game news this week is that Dragon Ball Z HD collection is finally coming out. I was waiting for this, actually, because a lot of the games on the PS2 was really awesome, actually, like Budokai 2, Budokai 3. Well, they just said they're going to release it on HD collection. It's going to be high def and everything ready to go. And now it's going to get released in PS3 and Xbox 360 during the winter for Europe and North America, because we're bigger fans than Japan about Dragon Ball. That's it. Nice. That's it for video game news this week. What's going on in Blizzard?
Well, guys, there's a lot of exciting, and I spoke about the upcoming topic about China hosting the World Tournament. But in more friendly news, as you guys know, it's the Brood War series. It's in its final stages before it comes to a close. In their Blaze of Glory Final 4 week tour, they're in the week 2 series of it right now. last week between Jungbi and Zero, it was a breathtaking ZVP match, the best ZVP match a StarCraft 2 player could ever see. And Fantasy and Flash will battle it out to make StarCraft 1 Road War history. This match was actually played on July 10th, but you can find the results on the Team Liquid live report thread.
Steve, you always want to jump the gun to SC2, huh?
I know. The reason I'm like that is because this is a huge jump for esports in Korea, since they are the innovators and the pioneers of esports.
Definitely.
Make it very popular to actually accept SC2 in the more popular scene. And Husky and Day9 have actually spoken about this being a huge problem because in StarCraft 2 there's a hot player 1 year, like Idri's really good, and then all of a sudden he falls back. In StarCraft 1, the best players have been the best players for years.
Definitely.
And if they move to SC2, that spells trouble for some of the American Western players. So
Definitely.
we'll hopefully see a huge shift in the amount of winners, so we'll have to see. But in other news, Brian, I want to talk about some of the WCS World Championship Series SC2 updates. Blizzard is teaming up with the Australian Cyber League to host the first ever Australian and Oceania finals, which will be hosted on August 11th and 12th in the Australian Technology Park in Sydney.
Wow,
So really awesome.
Great. Our Australian buddies are going to be playing with us now, huh?
Yes, of course. And the Nordic finals have been announced, taking place right now as we speak, this Saturday. The Russian Federation and the Ukrainian finals are taking place, and next week the Nordic finals will take place, which includes Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland.
So the motherland.
The motherland of mine, man.
Yeah.
So
They're
pretty
actually
cool.
fighting right now.
Yeah. This is Eastern Europe, not Northern Europe, right?
Oh, I thought.
I'm sorry, Western Europe.
Okay.
Top of the European food chain.
Alright.
That's it for this week for Blizzard news. Be sure to tune into Blizzard, tune into Bento Xtreme for more updates about this upcoming Fall for China brand.
Definitely.
And be sure to keep an eye out for our upcoming Anime Expo films that will come up periodically before the end of summer. That's a promise to you guys. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube, and be sure to check out our Facebook and Twitter. Until then, guys, remember to bento your samurai to the extreme!